Hi there, and welcome back to Justin Garza High School. I'm Mrs. Ruggiero, your teacher librarian, and today's lesson is going to cover copyright and plagiarism. Now, what we're going to get into the details about are what is copyright infringement exactly, and the law surrounding copyright, and what is plagiarism. We're also going to talk about why they're important and how images also are affected by copyright law. Okay. Then we're going to delve into a little bit about the policies and procedures here in Central Unified School District and at Justin Garza High School, and how you can follow the law and the guidelines to avoid committing plagiarism and committing copyright infringement. Okay, so let's dive in. First, what is copyright law, infringement, and plagiarism exactly? Copyright law and infringement is a federal law. It's a law designed to protect original works by people such as yourself. So anytime someone creates an original idea, an original work, it is protected by copyright law. And anytime someone uses their work without their express permission, or they use all of their work and pass it off as their own, they are committing copyright infringement. Now, when you commit copyright infringement, you're using their work without permission, and that can have some consequences. Plagiarism is when you take someone's work and you pass it off as your own without giving that person credit for their original ideas or their original creative work. It happens when you take those original ideas and you don't give them credit. For example, when you are writing a research paper or when you're using sources from someone else's work, if you quote parts of their work or summarize or paraphrase it, but you don't cite where you got that information as if it was your own, then you are committing plagiarism. And in the educational settings, such as schools and universities, that is considered cheating. Now, it's not necessarily a law, as copyright law is, it's more of an ethical issue. Now, let's get into why they are so important. And what about images? Are images protected by copyright law? Why is it important to avoid copyright infringement and plagiarism? Well, one, we want to make sure that we're using information in an ethical and effective way. And in order to do that, we must give credit to ideas and works that are not our own. Copyright infringement can be punishable by law, including fines and injunctions, because it is a federal law. Whereas committing plagiarism is not a law, but it is a guideline. It's an issue of ethics. And committing plagiarism can result in failing a class or failing an assignment, getting a zero on an assignment, or even in higher educational institutions such as colleges and universities, you can even be dismissed for breaking that academic integrity and violating plagiarism. What about images, you say? It's so easy to find images and find information online these days. So how can we be sure that we are using images in a responsible way? They are also protected by copyright law. And attempting to copy a likeness, for example, or a part of a drawing, let's say in work, in an art class, is considered fair use. And what that means is that you are not taking an entire original work and passing it off as your own. You're attempting to replicate it, but you're putting your own little spin on it. Passing off that original work of art as one's own would still be considered plagiarism. So we have to be very careful about that. Now, when you're looking for images online, for example, there are lots of websites that you can go to that have free images. Now let's talk a little bit about central unified policies and following the laws and the guidelines surrounding copyright and plagiarism. In your handbook and on our school and district websites, you are going to see both of these documents. One is a board policy that is written to give us guidelines about how to use copyrighted materials. Most of the guidelines apply to staff members or employees monitoring and using materials responsibly. Okay, but some of it does apply to students. And the board policy states that students shall not copy or distribute copyrighted works to others. Staff members shall take reasonable precautions to prevent copying or the use of unauthorized copies on school equipment. So we really want you to use information responsibly. And in our school handbook specifically, we know that every year we sign an academic integrity policy. Okay, and we value that character and that leadership in our district and at our school. And we want to make sure that you are using information that is available to you, but you're doing so in a responsible way. And so when we are providing that demonstration of the mastery of using information, it's our expectation that you are presenting original and authentic um, and individual examples of learning. And so those ideas that you come up with need to be your own. And when you are borrowing information from other sources, including other students or other people, you must give credit to those original creators of that work. Now, it's really easy to recap, right? Following the law and the guidelines are pretty simple. When in doubt, cite your source, refer to and give attribute to the people or the person that you got the work from. Okay, follow the copyright law, avoid copyright infringement by using only small portions of someone's work with permission, and avoid plagiarism. Always cite your sources or give credit to the original creator. Now, as you see, in conclusion with this presentation, I have included the sources that I have used, and you'll notice that I've included a website called freepik.com where I got free images from, and so you want to make sure that you're citing your sources as I have done. I hope that you have found this educational and you have learned something. And if you have questions, please feel free to email me at my district email. You can ask your teacher about how to cite your sources correctly and use information in a responsible way. Stop by the library when you have a moment, or visit our website for the resources on copyright law, copyright infringement, fair use, and plagiarism. I hope you have a great day. Take care.